Going on, fellas? So this is the belt I've been rocking for a good couple years now, and basically just gonna go over it all in today's video. This is pretty much my battle belt, duty belt. It hits the fan belt. Pretty much, it's not really a competition belt because it's not really light and high speed like that, but it is a pretty much, do it all belt. And this is a budget belt. Now, it's a budget belt, so let me get into that. This was one of my first belts. After doing extensive research, I'm either gonna get my next belt's either gonna be the Pharaoh Bison belt, it's gonna be the Agilite, their magnetic belt, or it's gonna be this. People are recommending me this AWS SMU Mali belt set, and this one's really cheap. It's $149 for the inner and the outer, and that it's either that, the Agilite magnetic, or the Pharaoh Concepts Bison belt. Those three are what I'm looking at whenever I'm looking to upgrade from this belt, because this was a belt I picked up a couple years ago. This belt was 50 bucks. I will tell you guys exactly the belt and all that. I'm just telling you guys, I did get this belt from Amazon, and a lot of guys are like, yo, stop getting your stuff from Amazon, which I 100% agree. But this was kind of just, this lasted for like testing and stuff, and it really wasn't that bad for the value it provided. If I was going to get a belt today, I would definitely go to one of the next three that I just suggested: the Bison, the Agilite, or the other one, the AWS belt that I just recommended. Because I would just skip over this. But if you're just getting into this stuff and you don't know if you'll really stick with it, you don't want to spend too much money. This belt was 50 bucks. These pouches were pretty cheap. So, I mean, we're going to go over all of that. For a budget belt setup, I mean, I think this is the best you can get when you're talking about budgeting and you just want to get your foot in the door for training, getting repetitions in, and all that. So I'll give you guys my belt, all my pouches, and everything that, all my experiences and what I think about this belt. So we'll go the belt first. The belt is from Amazon. Let me get exactly what it's called. I'll be sure to pull up a picture on the screen. So this is the Krydex Quick Release Rigger Mali Belt 1.75 inch inner and outer belt. You want to lean more towards the 1.75 inch, maybe the 1.5 inch over the 2 inch, because you want that inner belt to be able to go through belt loops, like normal belt loops. So this is the inner belt here, and you can see it can clearly go through like jean belt loops, cargo pant belt loops, and all of the normal belt loops that I imagine most of you guys have. So that's the inner belt. I also did get black. Whenever I do upgrade, I will get multicam, just so I have a multicam and a black setup, just like I do with my plate carriers. If you haven't seen that video, definitely go check it out. But we'll start with the holster first, and then we'll go all the way to the other side with the gloves and the mags and all that. So this is the most expensive thing on the belt. It's a Safari Land holster. I don't like cheaping out on holsters. Y'all know I get tier 1 concealed holsters for all of my EDC stuff and all of my duty stuff like this. I'm leaning towards Safari Land. This is a level 3 Safari Land holster for a Glock 19, Glock 45 with a Surefire X300 light and a red dot. So pretty much it's 3-level retention. So the first level, it's going to be getting the first loop off. It's going to hit this. I also got the red dot cover. That's the first level. And the second level is going to be pushing this button down here, and then the retention of it. So you got 3 levels, and this is my my Glock 45 that I already have a video on. And there we go. So my front sight fell off. Got to get new iron sights, right? And then another thing I'm doing, and I'm taking out the Glock Performance trigger. I don't know if I want to just keep up with the maintenance with it, or if I just want to swap back to the OEM. I did order a trigger spring kit for this, so maybe the OEM will feel a lot better. But this is what we're rocking right now. The reason why I got the Glock 45 with the Surefire X300 is because I meant to put a compensator on here. I wanted to get a barrel and a compensator, and it'll still fit Glock 17 holsters. So I plan on doing that with a compensator. I'm probably going to swap out the trigger, but I'm not going to go over the gun too much. And this is clear the whole time. The same with all the mags on the belt. They're all clear. But I forget how much the holster was. Maybe up close to $200. Around the $200 mark. And this is the drop leg system. Now, the reason why you don't want a drop leg system is because your holster then goes onto your leg, and then whenever you're training, you really want to aim for consistency. And so you want the same draw pattern, same draw stroke every time. And whenever you get a drop leg holster, that drops to your leg, and as your leg moves, your holster moves. So you kind of, you know, your draw is going to be slightly off to when you're what you're training with and all of that. So that's why you don't want a drop leg holster. I got one anyway. This is all Safari Land, as you guys can see. It clips on to the leg part of it, and the cool thing about this whole system is this holster comes off. You just got to push these two things down, and this holster comes off, right? And what that allows you to do is you can get more Safari Land holsters or whatever, and then they can all clip on. Let me guys show you this real quick. They can all clip on to that right there. So if I wanted to take my P320 X5 Legion and kind of clip that on without having to, you know, swap out the belt and do a lot of modifications to the belt, this will click in, and then now I have my level 3 retention for my, let me see if I can get it to focus, for my P320 X5 Legion with a, you know, Streamlight HL1, and then I forget the red dot, but it is a really nice red dot. And again, this is clear too, but I'm not going over my gun builds in today's video. I'm just going over the belt. So I like the system because I like the quality of it. I like how easy it is to switch holsters around. But the drop leg system, you will run into some issues switching up. You know, you just miss out on consistency when you're training. And it's a life-saving tool. So you really want that thing to be consistent and always be in the same spot every time. But I'll leave the P320 on there. It's unloaded, so it won't go off. I got this big med pouch. Now, this IFAK here, all of these pouches that you guys are seeing, I'm pretty sure I got off Amazon. And I'll try to pull up the pictures on where I got them. But I did get this med pouch off Amazon, mollied onto the belt. It's a little bit longer and wider. I used to have a taller one, but the taller one's kind of, you know, get in the way of the plate carrier and all that. So in the medic pouch, I got a lot of pressure gauze. I got some tape. I got alcohol pads. I don't have, I got a lot of bandages in there. I even got some bleed stop in there. Don't have a tourniquet in there because I actually have a tourniquet down the belt a little bit more. But that is my medical pouch. Usually that goes, you know, around your back. I have it a little bit, you know, towards the right side of me whenever I'm wearing the belt. Moving down, we have a dump pouch. This dump pouch, you guys don't really have to buy quality dump pouches, I don't think, because it's just a dump pouch. But pretty much it rolls up. But if I wanted to, I'm actually one of the dudes that never really use his dump pouch, but pretty much it just opens up. You can leave it closed if you want to. I usually have mine closed, and then, you know, fold it up and close because I never use it. I'm one of the guys that never use it. People say they always use their dump pouches, but I just never do. I don't know why. But moving down the line, here is my tourniquet. Now, if you guys can see that, there we go. Here is my tourniquet right here next to my mags. Now, a lot of people are doing what they've been doing the last few years. They've been putting their tourniquets, they've been getting a tourniquet holder on their holster, and they've been putting their tourniquet right here. It's actually easily accessible and off the belt, so it leaves you more room. I don't have that, so I did make sure to get a tourniquet pouch. And again, whenever you're first getting into this kind of stuff, you know, if you're like me, you're going to look up tourniquets online, and then they're going to be mad cheap, and you'll be, oh, period, I'm going to buy a bunch of them. But you have to be wary of not buying fake tourniquets because this is another life-saving tool. So whenever you do get tourniquets, make sure they're, you know, cat tourniquets or some type of, you know, not fake tourniquet, right? Because you don't want these to break on you if you really have to use them. That would be pretty bad. So I have that right there. Moving down the line, I have this double AR pouch. So these mags are unloaded too. Not that I have my AR in here, but pretty much this double AR pouch, I could put two AR mags in here, or I can this can actually fit two AR mags in each. So if I really had to upsize, or stow some extra mags, there are two AR mags in the one, so I can actually fit four AR mags on my belt. And then this does have the flap that goes over, as you can see that I just did, the flap that goes over. But I usually keep the flap tucked in because these are my faster reloads. My faster reloads are coming off of my belt. So if you guys do have, let me get these out. If you guys do have AR pouches with these flaps, you guys can just tuck them into the pouch. And then you guys can still use that pouch as a fast reload pouch, which is pretty helpful. And that's what I've been doing because my speed reloads are coming off of my belt. So that's for the 5.56 pouches. Like I said, I could fit up to four, but I usually just keep two in there. Moving on, I'm pretty sure this is the Krydex double pistol pouch for my Glock 45 mags. I mean, these are Glock 17 mags or whatever, with a +4 extension on both of them. So again, these are clear, not that I'm putting them anywhere, but these have the extension just to get even more ammo. What is it, 17 + 4, so it's like 21. And they do come with little inserts for retention purposes. These been fine. You'll see what people really do is they'll cant their pistol mags a little. They'll cant them a little bit, and it makes it for a smoother, easier, more natural feeling reload. I just don't have them canted on here. I just got them posted up just like that, and it's been fine. You know, I've been training like that forever. Maybe on the next belt I'll start to cant them. But moving on to the front of the belt, I got two carabiners. I got one with just zip ties on them for no reason at all. I've never used one of those zip ties. The only time I use this is if I need a zip tie at home and I go to my belt, because that's where I know I have zip ties. But I mean, they don't weigh anything, but they'll probably come off. And then another carabiner is my Magpul gloves. These gloves right here I have two pairs of them. I have the black, and then I have the Coyote tan ones. But these Magpul gloves, I also got these off Amazon. I like them. They're thin. I don't like gloves with like a lot of, extra material. These are breathable. I can still, touch screen. I can still use my phone with them. All of that. I mean, they're tight. They're not going to get caught on anything. I like them, so I've been buying more of them. And that takes us to the end of the belt. Pretty much just the purpose of the belt. Obviously I didn't invest too much money in this belt, but I still just wanted to get repetitions. I am going to upgrade within the next month or so. But the purpose of the belt is to distribute the weight, is to one, hold your handgun, hold your sidearm, and two, distribute that weight off of your plate carrier. Like I said, I only carry 3 mags on my plate carrier. Some people carry like 6. Some people carry 5. Now I could take that weight off of my shoulders and put it on my hips to distribute that weight for a lot longer. I also carry belts are also really good. Obviously, you have your gun, your sidearm, your pistol magazines, extra ammo that would otherwise be on your belt or otherwise be on your vest weighing you down. Also, you can have medical on here. Dump pouches are cool, but medical, having an IFAK on your belt is very beneficial. And having that dump pouch on here, like I threw a tourniquet on the belt, but having this stuff on the belt kind of distributes that weight off of your plate carrier and onto your waist and your hips, and it makes the plate carrier a lot lighter so you're not killing your shoulders. So I got this belt just to train, and it's been holding up very well. The belt's done me just fine training wise with through the last couple years. I would say I'd probably get a belt before I even got a plate carrier. Even if you're rocking a chest rig, a belt can be very beneficial. A belt's always going to be beneficial because it holds your sidearm and it holds your pistol mags and it could hold rifle mags. And I get a belt before I even got a plate carrier or a chest rig because it could hold my sidearm mags. It holds medical on it, and it also holds AR mags. Like I said, I could put 4 AR mags on this belt. I wouldn't, because the belt would be too heavy, for me at least. I could have an AR, I could have a sidearm, and I could have ammo for both my AR and my sidearm and medical on me with just a belt. So that's why it's so beneficial on here to have a belt. And also, belts come with fast reloads. You see, with the plate carriers and chest rigs, I mean, the reloads are cool, but whenever I want a fast reload, it always felt better and faster coming off the belt. Especially, I mean, pistol mags, of course, but even AR mags, it just felt way more natural to grab that mag off my belt and reload the AR with the mags coming from my belt. I always reload off of my belt first. So if I'm somebody that doesn't have a belt, I would definitely look into getting a belt. Would I buy this belt if I knew what I know now? Probably not. I would probably just go straight to like really a real quality belt, because it's only like, belts aren't that expensive. I mean, $200 for a belt sounds crazy to some people, but you know, after you get in this, you see what quality is like in this field. You kind of want quality every single time. So I would definitely make that an investment. I would do extensive research on different platforms, and I would go, like I said, I'm gonna go for either the Agilite, the Faro Bison belt, or the AWU SMU belt. I think it was that one's sub $150. So, and that's looking quality. So I mean, I think one of those 3 is what I'm leaning on. The Agilite's cool because it's magnetic, and you know, like I talked about earlier with consistency, everything lines up the same every single time, so the consistency is really there on that belt. And Agilite makes really good gear. So I would probably, if I don't have a belt right now, I'd probably go for quality. But if you're just somebody that wants to train, and they want a belt to try it out and all that, and they just want something they're not going to beat up real bad, they're going to train with here and there, and they just want something to be a little bit more prepared, I mean, this belt has done me fine so far. And I've been, you know, running it through the mud pretty much. But that's all for today's video. This is my belt setup. This is what I've been rocking. This is what I have in all my videos. Like I said, I am upgrading, but this is what I got for right now. This is my first belt. I give you guys all my input, my insights on anybody looking to get a belt. So I hope this video helped. Drop a like, subscribe. Catch you on the next one.